Are you blind when you're born?
Can you see in the dark?
Can you look at a king? Would you sit on his throne? Can you save your bite? That it's worse than your bark? Are you cock of the walk? When you're walking alone?
Because jellicles are and jellicles do. Jellicles do and jellicles won't. Jellicles would and jellicles can. Jellicles can and jellicles do. When you fall on your head, do you land on your feet? Are you tense when you sense there's a storm in the air? Can you find your way right when you're lost in the street?
Do you know how to go to the heavy side lair?
Because jellicles can and jellicles do. Jellicles do and jellicles can. Jellicles can and jellicles do. Jellicles do and jellicles can. Jellicles can and jellicles do. When you ride on the broomstick to places far distant, familiar with candle
And with bell,
the Tinson's friend, the Pied Piper's assistant.
a look of surprise, as much as to say, well, now how about that? Do I actually see with my own very eyes a man who's not heard of a Jellicle cat?
What's a Jellicle cat?
at the Jellicle ball, where we all rejoice, and the Jellicle leader will soon appear and make what is known as the Jellicle choice. when old Deuteronomy just before dawn, through a silence you feel you could cut with a knife, announces the cat who can now be reborn and come back to a different Jellicle life. For waiting up there is the heavy side layer, full of wonders one Jellicle only will see, and Jellicles ask because Jellicles dare. Who will it be?
Who will it be?
I have a Gumby cat in mind. Her name is Jenny Dots. Her coat is of the tabby kind, with tiger stripes and leopard spots. All day she sits beneath the stairs, or on the steps, or on the mat. She sits and sits and sits and sits, and that's what makes a Gumby cat. That's what makes a Gumby cat.
But when the days hustle and bustle is done, then the Gumby cat's work is but hardly begun. And when all the families are there asleep, she tucks up her skirts to the least and every. She's deeply concerned with the ways of the mice. Their behavior's not good and their manners not nice. So she has got to wind up on a matting. She teaches them music, crocheting, and tatting.
I have a Gumby cat in mind. Her name is Jenny Dots. The curtain cord she likes to wind and tie it into sailor knots. She sits upon the windowsill, or anything that's smooth and flat. She sits and sits and sits and sits, and that's what makes a Gumby cat. That's what makes a Gumby cat.
But when the days hustle and bustle is done, then the Gumby cat's work is but hardly begun. She thinks that the cockroaches just need employment to vent them from idle and wanton destroyment. She's off from the lunchbox, is ordering an axe, a trip of participant of the Boy Scouts, with a purpose in life and a good deed to do. She's even created a Beatles tattoo.
prison, I'd rather have grouse. If you put me in a house, I would much prefer a flat. If you put me in a flat, then I'd rather have a house. If you set me on a mouse, then I'm nothing but a rat. If you set me on a rat, then I'd rather just a mouse.
The rum-tum-tum is a curious cat.
And there isn't any call for me to shout it. For he will do
As he did.
and there's no doing anything about it. When you let me in, then I wanna go out. I'm always on the wrong side of every door. And as soon as I'm there again, I'd like to get out. I'd like to laugh. But I'm not such a fuss if I can't get out.
The rum-tum-tum is a curious cat.
And there isn't any use for you to doubt it.
For he will do as he did.
And there's no doing anything about it.
Is a curious beast.
My splashing ways are a matter of habit. Yeah, I'm the fish, then I always want to feast. And then there's the fish, then I won't eat rabbit. Yeah, I'm from the creeping out. Still fixing I only like what I find for myself. No, see, ask me never right, that's my ears to be put away on the other shelf.
The rum-tum-tum is awful annoying. The rum-tum-tum.
Doesn't get good girl. So then I put the garden and there isn't any need for me to spout it. There's no doing anything about about it. dinner on Argentine joint.
Potatoes and greens, and the cook would appear from behind the scenes.
And say in a voice that is broken with sorrow, I'm afraid you must wait and have dinner tomorrow. The joint has gone from the oven like that.
Then the family will say, it's that horrible cat.
Was it Mungo Jerry?
Or Ramble Teaser. And most of the time, they leave it at that. Mungo Jerry, Ramble Teaser, have a wonderful way of working together.
Some of the time you would say it was right.
And some of the time, you would say it's weather.
And everything else like an hurricane. And no sarcasm, the tables up. Was it Mungo Jerry?
Ramble Teaser.
Or did you a smile?
That it might have been both. And to get me dinner, dining and seats.
Or up from the country?
There comes a loud crashing, and from the library came a loud ding. The vase which was common said to be Then the family said, now which was which cat?
It was Mungo Jerry.
And Ramble Teaser. Nothing at all to be done about that. And there's nothing at all to be done about that.
Oh, Deuteronomy?
I believe it is all Deuteronomy. Well, of all things, can it be really? Yes, no, I, oh my mind may be wandering, but I confess, I believe it is all Deuteronomy.
Old Deuteronomy's lived a long time. He's a cat who has lived many lives in succession. He was famous in proverb and famous in rhyme. A long while before Queen Victoria's accession. Old Deuteronomy buried 9 wives and more. I am tempted to say 99, and his numerous progeny prospers and thrives, and the village is proud of him in his decline. At the sight of that placid and bland physiognomy, when he sits in the sun on the vicarage wall, the oldest inhabitant croaks, where of all things can it be really? Yes, no, oh, hi, oh, my eye. My mind may be wandering, but I confess I believe it is old Deuteronomy. Well, of all things, can it be really? Yes, no, oh, I, oh, my eye. My mind may be wandering, but I confess
careful of Deuteronomy.
Jellicle cats meet once a year on the night we make the Jellicle choice. And now that the Jellicle leader is here, Jellicle cats can all rejoice.
Macavity!
Jellicle cats, come out tonight. Jellicle cats, come one, come all. The Jellicle moon is shining bright. Jellicles come to the Jellicle ball. Jellicle cats are black and white. Jellicle cats are rather small. Jellicle cats are merry and bright.
And pleasant to hear when we cut to ball.
Jellicle cats have cheerful faces. Jellicle cats have bright black eyes. We like to practice our airs and graces and wait for the Jellicle moon to rise. Jellicle cats develop slowly. Jellicle cats are not too big. Jellicle cats are roly-poly. We know how to dance a gavotte and a jig.
Until the Jellicle moon appears. We make our toilets and take our repose. Jellicles blush behind their ears. Jellicles dry between their toes. Jellicle cats are white and black.
Jellicle cats are of moderate size. Jellicles jump like a jumping jack.
Jellicle cats have moonlit eyes.
Requires enough in the morning hours, requires enough in the afternoon. Preserving our terpsichorean powers to satisfy the lights of the Jellicle moon. Jellicle cats are black
And white.
Jellicle cats, as we said, are small. If it happens to be a stormy night, you'll practice a kick or two in the hall.
If it happens the sun is shining bright.
We say we have nothing to do at all. We're
Resting and saving ourselves to be
right for the Jellicle moon and the Jellicle ball. Jellicle cats are out tonight. Jellicle cats come one, come all. The Jellicle moon is shining bright. Jellicles come to the Jellicle ball. Jellicle cats come out tonight. Jellicle cats, come one, come all. The Jellicle moon
experience of one life only, but of many generations. Not forgetting something that is probably quite ineffable.
His coat's very shabby, he's thin as a rake, and he suffers from palsy that makes his paws shake. Yet he was, in his youth, quite the smartest of cats, but no longer a terror to mice and to rats. For he isn't the cat that he was in his prime, though his name was quite famous, he says, in his time. And whenever he joins his friends at their club, which takes place at the back of the neighbouring pub, he loves to regale them, if someone else pays, with anecdotes drawn from his palmiest days. For he once was a star of the highest degree. He has acted with earthing, he's acted with tree, and he likes to relate his success on the halls, where the gallery once gave him 7 cat calls. But his grandest creation, as he loves to tell, was Fire Fiddle, the fiend of the fell.
I have played in my time every possible part, and I used to know 70 speeches by heart. I extemporized back chat, I knew how to gag, and I knew how to let the cat out of the bag. I knew how to act with my back end my tale. Now the rehearsal I never could fail. I'd a voice that would soften the hardest of hearts, but I took the lead, or in character parts. I've sat by the bedside of poor little Nell. When the curfew was rung, then I swung on the bell. In the pantomime season, I never fell flat, and I once understudied Dick Whittington's cat. But my grandest creation, as history will tell, was Fire for Fiddle, the fiend of the fair.
Then if someone will give him a spoonful of gin, he will tell how he once played a part in East Lynne. At a Shakespeare performance, he once walked on pat, and said actors are just in the lead for a cat.
And I say now, these kittens, they do not get trained as we did in the days when Victoria reigned. They never get trained in our regular troop, and they think they are smart just to jump through a hoop.
And he says as he scratches himself with his claws,
Theatre is certainly not what it was. These modern productions are all very well, but there's nothing to equal from what I hear tell. That moment of mystery when I made history.
There's a whisper down the line at 11:39 when the night mail's ready to depart. Saying, Skimble, where is Skimble? Has he gone to hunt the thimble? We must find him or the train can't start.
Dancing on the porters and the station master's daughters will be searching high and low. Saying, Skimble, where is Skimble? For a mess he's very nimble and the night's mail just can't go. TM42 with the signal overdue and the passengers all frantic to a man. That's when I would appear and I'd saunter to the rear. I'd be busy in the luggage van.
Then he gave one flash from his last green eyes and the signal went for clear.
It'd be off at last on the door, past common Northern Hemisphere.
Skimble shines the railway cat, the cat of the railway train.
You could see that by and large, who was in charge of the sleeping car express. From the driver and the guards to the blackman playing cards, I would supervise them all, more or less.
Down the corridor he paces and examines all the faces of the travelers in the first and the third. He establishes control by a regular patrol and he tells us once if anything occurs. You were watching without thinking and you saw what you were thinking and it's certain that he is a good. Popularity and riots on the folk were very high as when Skimble was about to on the move. You could play the
morning tea. But I was just behind him and was ready to remind him the Skimble won't let anything go wrong. Skimble shines the railway past, the cat on the railway train. Skimble shines the railway past, the cat on the railway train. In the watches of the night, I was always fresh and bright. Every now and then I'd have a cup of tea. Perhaps a joke was scotch while I was keeping on the watch, only stopping here and there to get free. They were fast asleep at crew, and so they never knew that I was walking up the station. They were sleeping all the while I was busy at Carlisle, where I met the station master with a nation. You might see them at a feast if I saw them without police. There's anything they ought to know about. When they got to Narrow Gate, where they did not have to wait for a single chance to help them to their And he gives you a wave of his long brown tail, which says, I see you again. You will meet without fail on the midnight trail, the cats of the railway trail.
Macavity. Macavity's a mystery cat. He's called the Hidden Ball, for he's the master criminal who can defy the law. He's the bafflement of Scotland, the flying squad's despair. When they reach the scene of crime, Macavity's not there. Macavity, Macavity, he's no one like Macavity. He's broken every human law. He breaks the law of gravity. His powers of levitation would make a figure stare. And when you reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. You may seek him in the basement. You may look up in the air. But I tell you once and once again, Macavity's not there! Mars. And his footprints are not found in any files of Scotland Yards. And when the Lord is looted, or the jewel case is rifled, or when the milk is missing, or another peak's been stifled, or the greenhouse glass is broken, and the trillers pass from there, there's the wonder of the thing. Macavity's not there, and they say that all the cats whose deeds are mine alone. I might mention Mungo Jerry. I might mention Griddlebone. And nothing more than agents for the cats who all the time just controls the operations. The Napoleon of crime! Macavity is not there. Macavity's not there.
not magical, Mr. Mistopheles, the original conjuring cat. There can be no doubt about that. Please, listen to me, and don't scoff. All his inventions are off his own bat. There's no such cat in the metropolis. He holds all the pages monopolies, performing surprising illusions and creating eccentric confusions. The greatest magicians have something to learn from Mr. Mistopheles' conjuring turn. And we all say, oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. He is quiet, he is small, he is black. From his ears to the tip of his tail, he can reach to the tiniest crack. He can walk on the narrowest rail. He can pick any card from a pack. He is equally cunning with dice. He is always deceiving you into believing that he's only hunting for mice. Now he can play any trick with a cord, or a spoon and a bit of fish paste. Look for a knife or a fork, and you think it is really misplaced. You have seen it one moment, and then it is gone. But you find it next week, lying out on the lawn. And we all say, oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. Oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles.
Now, old Deuteronomy, just before dawn, through a silence you feel you could cut with a knife, announces the cat who can now be reborn and come back to a different Jellicle life.
of several kinds of cat, and my opinion now is that you should need no interpreter to understand our character. You've learned enough to take the view that cats are very much like you. You've seen us both at work and games, and learnt about our proper names, our habits and our habitat. But how do you address a cat? So first your memory I'll jog and say a cat is not a dog. With cats, some say one rule is true: don't speak till you are spoken to. Myself, I do not hold with that. I say you should address a cat, but always keep in mind that he resents familiarity. You bow, and taking off your hat, address him in this form. Oh, cat. Before a cat will condescend to treat you as a trusted friend, some little token of esteem is needed, like a dish of cream, and you might now and then supply some caviar or Strasbourg pie, some potted grouse or salmon paste. He's sure to have his personal taste, and so